me? Hi, are you in Scientology?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to answer just a couple questions for me? My name's Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. I was just curious if you've seen online. Oh, I just put gum in my mouth and now I'm choking a little. If you've seen anything online with the other organizations or orgs or buildings where the people are out with their cameras and asking people questions or protesting.
No.
No? All right. Derail my questions a bit. I was curious if I actually was able to speak with someone that didn't really know what was going on. There are people starting to not protest traditionally, but go out and make themselves known and put a bunch of the different Scientology buildings and organization like the ideal orgs online and make live stream it. I'm really struggling. This gum is very intense for me right now. I think I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, I wonder if a way to ask people questions would be to say that if you've ever thought about the people in, for example, the Catholic Church, because my grandparents were raised and they were Catholics their whole life. But I always questioned how they could do that and give their money to that and, give the tithing or what have you, fully aware that there was so much abuse and things going on with the priests, and it was all being covered up or they were being relocated, and it was just nobody was being held accountable, and just abuse after abuse was coming out about when I was a teenager.
Oh, gosh.
But they just kept going, and it didn't make sense to me. And I wondered if you ever thought about the people that are part of that kind of organization, and if you found out that there were things going on within your religion or your spiritual practice. And I understand people still need their faith, but if you found out these abuses were happening for yourself, if you would be able to see yourself in that sort of same perspective of, because some people stopped going to those churches, or the things that happened with the Jehovah's Witnesses and the polygamists, and that guy is in jail now. And I was just curious if people maybe, if they were able to see it from that perspective, if they would look at their own situation different. And I ask you that because there are so many stories coming out now. And I'm not a confrontational person. I don't put people in the hot seat, unless they really deserve it. But I think I'm gonna say, I'm not, there's a lot going on and people have their different approaches, but I wanted to tell you that I've recently been deeply, deeply affected by some of the very personal one-on-one stories I've heard from people that were second-generation Scientologists. Now, granted, a lot of them were in the Sea Org, so it was a little different, but there's kind of a general consensus. Again, I'm not going to say I believe it all, or any of it for that matter, just because everybody's saying it, I'm not one to quickly think it's true. But the general consensus would be that people within Scientology are going to dismiss what I say, or dismiss those stories, or ignore it, or say that they're lying. And I just don't, maybe it's true, but I refuse to believe it. So I wanted to tell you, or anybody I've talked to that said they haven't been online, to please go online and look for yourself. And please listen to the people's personal stories, not a news article, but somebody that's looking in the camera where you can read them and see them and know if they're telling the truth. Because I know humans are capable of doing that on their own. But there are so many people out there sharing their stories, and And there are quite a few court cases right now that I don't know if people in Scientology are even aware of the court cases that are happening.
Well, I don't know. You can take this as dismissing it or not. But my answer to you would be, what Scientology does is very personal to you individually, right? And if it helps you, it helps you.
Right.
If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right.
So my first response would be not to listen to those people, because every religion has, or
that's why I brought up the Catholics first, because they got
company, even every
organization,
has bad seeds, right? So I would say just go like to the app itself and find out about Scientology and see if there's something that you want help in your life personally, and it maybe can help you. Attacking all the politics that are fighting, attacking all of the religious naysayers, or attacking all the wrong stuff is not really doing anything for yourself. Right. So what Scientology has done for me is I just find out what I want help with, and that's what it's helped me with.
Do you feel like me saying this is attacking?
No, but your question about would I confront these people, or would I dismiss it, or would I just ignore it?
I did mean me general. Well, I guess, or anybody, because I find it surprising they're not here yet, but they are happening. They're starting to show up everywhere. So
I do ignore anything that comes that way. I mean, if someone is generally interested in finding out about Scientology, I'll share with them a video. I'll share with them the real app from Scientology. I'll share with them some free courses that they could do to help their life, But I personally am not going to be one to attack someone who's attacking my religion.
But what if it's, like, I think that's why I was thinking about the Catholics and my grandparents, because ultimately reading the Bible and having your relationship with your God is helpful to you, or if you go to service, it's good for you, or if you do your confession, that was good for them. And they were actually like the best people I know on earth,
Right.
But at the end of the day, I was thinking...
But it's people, it's not the group.
But
it's
they
people.
were funding it.
Well,
they were giving their money to it, and they weren't...
The good people in the group.
Yeah, but if the money goes to the higher ups to continue sustaining it, and it's giving it to the people that quite literally perpetuated these abuses and hid it from people, and did not hold these priests accountable.
Yeah. The only
so
thing...
then it is, at that point they were paying for it to keep happening.
Sure, I understand, but they were also paying for a lot of good. I'm sure the faith...
I know, I hear you, I get it.
Yeah.
But if you found out that the organization, the policies, the structures, the things that were written into maybe even the levels that I don't know where you're at on things, but what if you would you be ever open to just looking into seeing if your money is hurting people? No, but it helps you, but what if it hurts others or children?
It's a matter of...
What if you found out it was hurting children?
Then I would do the appropriate justice. I would do the appropriate reporting. I've been in Scientology for 20 plus years, and I know the policies. I know the references, and I would just use the justice system,
Hold on, you got a couple of young hoodlum folk right behind you.
Okay.
One moment. Whippersnappers.
Yeah. So I do have enough faith in my organization that if something was to come...
You wouldn't be asked to maybe bring it up with somebody internally?
Sure.
And not have you ever been...
I would do the appropriate reporting.
Within your agency? Would you take it to the police?
I think, sure. If it was someone that personally I knew for a fact, not believed because I saw something on YouTube.
Right.
If I knew that there was something that was criminal that was going on, absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, and I say that too because the whole thing that really got everybody interested was the Danny Masterson trial. Not that he was a rapist, because everybody knew that, but that he was It was reported, the women reported it more than once, and there were 3 different incidents that went to trial. There were other women, but it was reported internally. They were Scientologists, I think. I don't know how much you know about it. Well, the reason it finally got brought to court is because they had to leave Scientology, or chose to, and got asked to leave also because they took it to the court, our court.
But it sounds to me like you're believing what you're reading on the internet.
No, I didn't read about that. You can watch the court.
No,
you can watch the trial.
No,
not you,
desire.
but I'm saying I watched some of the trial, and I read the transcripts from the trial.
Yeah.
And I guess if you don't believe in the court system or the judges, then it doesn't matter. But the judge ruled that was why Scientology paperwork needed to come in as evidence, because it was reported, and Danny had to go to auditing to get,
I trust the justice system. I trust the judicial system. If someone is a criminal, whether they're a Scientologist or not, then they will go through the judicial system.
But the women that came forward and said that they were raped were told, do not go to the police, we'll handle it internally.
Yeah.
And it's not a video on YouTube. It's people getting on and telling their stories. And that's why I said maybe look into it, because you can look in their eye.
I have no reason. To be
because
associated
it doesn't,
with those kind of people. I have no reason to be associated.
But with people that are victims of abuse?
If that was my job, then yes, I would go help the people with victims of abuse. But I would do it with traffickers, or I would do it with children.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
That is the court case. Do you know that Scientology is being held in court right now for trafficking?
So
do you know that?
No.
Okay, it's true though. Look it up.
I don't know.
It's not fake news. This is in a court of law, and they're like, no, I'm serious. David Miscavige was actually finally served.
You are
trafficking.
You are spending a lot of time listening to people that are not telling the truth.
It's not people, they're court documents.
Okay. Well, if that's where
and
you're
we're talking about minors.
If that's where you're going to find your faith
the
internet.
No, my faith is separate from anything I'm talking about. I haven't talked to you about my faith.
Yeah.
So you're never going to be open to actually looking to seeing if any of it, even if it's in California court documents.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Even if you know your money is funding the organizations that keep the structures in place that are institutionalized.
I know what
systems.
Scientology has done for me.
And that's all that, so it's just about you?
No.
What about the other humans in the world?
There's plenty that are doing very good. The ones that are on the internet sharing.
Fuck the internet for a minute. What about people in court? California courts. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get frustrated because you're not believing me. You think I'm lying.
No,
California courts.
That's fine. If that's where you want to find your information about Scientology, that's entirely
No, it's
up
not
to you.
about Scientology that I get that information. It's where I get humans' stories. And when you put them all together...
Go volunteer for a women's abuse shelter or something. I mean, put some of that.
But what if a woman came into my shelter and told me that she was raped, and it was withheld from going to court because she was told they would handle it internally, and she found out that there were other women like that, and it was within her religious organization? Then what?
Obviously, you did not stop me to find out how you can improve your life with Scientology.
No,
so
I'd never said that.
I know.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to engage in any more of this conversation.
All right, okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I just wish that, see, I think that's what's so frustrating, is because I've never met a group of people that aren't willing to look at other information. It feels very much like, no, this is the truth, this is my truth, and I have no need to worry about other people saying anything different. But that's also, I mean, and I'm gonna even face this way because I don't want you to think I'm saying this at you, but that's what the said. And I never thought of it till I was talking to you. That's why I'm not looking at you, because I want you to think I'm calling you. But that's what they said.
All I know.
I need to stay alive. My family does.
Yeah.
They're not killing me. But
all I can say is I've never had a better life than I have right now.
Well, that's what somebody in a high-ranking position would have said.
Okay.
If you think about it, though, that is what I'm saying. People that just needed to only take care of themselves, and they were going to believe what they needed to believe, that because it served them, and they didn't worry about the rest of humanity around them that were being murdered.
You've got your path. I've got my path.
Me too, and thank you for talking to me. No, really, thank you. I know. I appreciate you talking to me.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I forgot your name. Kelly. I'm going to be out here a bit.
Okay, bye.
Bye.